A little bit out to lunch. I'm J-Man Weird. Welcome to the show. Like I said, I'm going to fix the camera. So, my good friend Kelly's going to be here soon, and we're going to you know, play this game, and we're going to talk about things like Dungeons and Dragons. And there's Cat. Cat has come to visit with us. Hello, Mr. Cat. How are you doing? Come here, bud. Ezio. Yes, we need him Ezio after Ezio from this game. Psst. So yeah, Kelly will be here momentarily. I should set his chair down a little bit for him. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, where is it? Where are they? Hello? There aren't any. I know this chair goes down. There's the lock. There it is. There it is. That'll be better. Oh yeah. I got camera equipment in the way here. We're in the studio, guys. We're in Studio B. This is the new Studio B. There's a set of lights here. We're looking at the camera over here and the monitor, which really is just a big TV screen. So I'm going to open up chat, and I'm going to get back to my seat, and Kelly's going to be here sooner than later. We're going to put our feet up. We got a stool to put our feet up on. Oh, there's some. Watch this.
We watch each other's backs.
That's how quick. That's how quick. Oh, he lit me on fire, that dirty bugger. Light me on fire, you dirty savage. Now we're going to set traps on them. All of them. So when somebody approaches them, we'll loot them first. Loot the body. Dungeons and Dragons, right? Loot the body. Are we able to loot this? No. Okay, buddy. Hey, buddy. Don't touch the bodies. They'll blow up in your face. I'm telling you what, these Danes aren't terrorists for nothing. Alright, where are we going? Where see that gold? We're going to the gold. So, follow. We're going to go to our map marker. So, for those of you who don't know who I am J-Man Weird, and chat is not open yet. I still have popcorn over here from the other day. Holy Dinah. Fix my chair. Got my Edmonton Eskimos blanket. Edmonton Eskimos blanket. So, apparently I'm not allowed to say that word anymore because it's politically incorrect. I'm 50 years old. I don't give a rat's rep. Because you know what? I love everybody. As much as it is humanly possible to get along with everyone, I do my best. And you know what? That's what we need to do. Look, they even have lines on the road. See that? Down the middle of the road. It's like, what? So, I'm going over here to Oxford, Shire, blah, blah, blah. Wait. Can I talk to this guy? Will he have more? I just picked up one from the other guy, so I better open chat, eh?
That's all I have for now. Find
That
me
is
later.
all I have for now. I don't have any more. So please, do not ask. There we go. Chat is now open. You can speak with... I am Ivan Sterenkov. You can speak to me now, please. You make conversation. We will do show for you. My good friend Kelly Ross will be here very soon. He will come to sit in this chair. And you will be able to speak with him through the chat. It will be very good. I know this thing is very good. Okay, we play now. Come. Yes, I do some voice acting. On my own show, though. On my own show, which is our little D&D game. You can find episodes of it on the YouTubes. You know, where you get the U and the tubes together. The cancel culture thing. You know what I'm talking about. Whereas if you have an opposite opinion of somebody, and they think you're wrong, they can just shut you down. The YouTubes. Yeah. I have my pajamas on. I have my alma mater sweater on today, as you can see. And I've got my coffee. I'm going to pull my table a little closer. I'm going to pull my table a little closer. You know how that is. I'm fat and old. Coffee is so good, man. You know what I'm saying, man? Hey, man. My name's Billy Wamsley. Okay, we're here. We're at Hammer Time. Hey, do I need any more goodies? I gotta collect the gooseberries. They're raspberries, I know they're raspberries, guys. Don't get me wrong. But just saying gooseberries is way better. Is that a pool of water in the middle of the house? We're gonna get this. I don't like the way they do the light in this game at all. It's just stupid. Don't hide this stuff, man. Come on, man. Don't be a clown. This is one of my favorite sayings from one of the least liked people in America today. Hey, man, don't be a clown. Oh, everybody hates that guy. I got the farm key. Are we not on the farm? Sure does look like we're on the farm. I enjoyed living on the farm when the kids were little. What a great place for kids to grow up, man. On a farm. The best place for kids to grow up. Not even lying. And these people don't even try to stop you. You just go in and you raid whatever they want, whatever you want. Just take it. You just take it. And nobody tries to stop you. Nobody tries to stop you. Titanium and nickel. Man, oh man. I'm going to be able to upgrade weapons like crazy later on. Hey, sister. You'd be cool. I'll bet you 5-1. I'm going to have to come back here for some reason. Simply because I don't see any guards here. Look at this. This is a crane. This is a crane. It took me a minute to figure it out. These are cranes. And somebody gets in there and walks. And they just use like multiple pulleys. I hear the cow. Normally I would just, you know, take a couple of cows. Do I need, hey, can I get some more gooseberries? Do I need the gooseberries? Yeah, I need gooseberries, man. Apparently I got my butt kicked really hard somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. That was last night. So, where are we going? See this little, whoops. See this little spot right here? We're going to take this target and then we're going to go to this. So that's where we're going. We're going to follow the road. Unfollow it. Follow it. We'll turn here. Hold on a second, we're going the wrong way. Are we? Are we really? Okay. We're gonna follow road and go to our map marker. Because it's obvious to me that it's not taking me to my map marker. Show me and show where the hell he going to do this, you know what I'm saying, man? Look at all the poppies. Man, what I could do with all the poppies. London? Yeah, I've been here before. New territory discovered. What? Look at all the things we have to go. We are so going to collect this stuff. And then we're going to go over here and get another contract. So is this tracked? Is this tracked? No, that's why. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm a moron. Go to the quest objective.
Need to cloak myself here.
Hope I don't get killed on my way over here. Oh.
Tight. Leave no breathing space.
Not cool. So I lost my horse. Some dudes are...
Hey now! You the throw-kissing coward!
Funky. She's got to come over here now. Come here, sweetheart. Daddy's got a big sharp sword for you. Come on. Don't fear. Don't fear the Reaper. Well, if you're not going to come over to me,
Stand that way,
I'm going to come over to you.
Where's the thing?
Hey, wait. Better target practice. Come on. Beating gun.
I didn't want to do that.
No nodding off now. Come to head the drop.
Like, how bad is this? So bad. Okay, I'm going to my target. Proceed to the target. Terminate. I am like special ops, baby. This is a blend-in spot, so you can just blend in. This, just press the button. Don't make me hold it. Just want to press the button. Just want to sit down. For heaven's sakes, get your heads out of your buttholes. Just stupid. Now it takes forever to get it back. For heaven's sakes, Lance sakes alive, man. These guys get further and further away, so you're gonna see a lot of jumping and hopping and climbing. Londinium Bureau. Okay. So I'm here at the Assassin's Guild in Londinium. Alright, so I will make sure. I'm going to go do this contract and then we're going to go to the Bureau. The Bureau of a Wonderful Assassination thing. So we are in London, which is another corporation. The corporation of London owned the corporation of Washington, D.C. Very interesting stuff. How the banks in London owned Washington, D.C.
I must be careful now.
Careful of what? Hey guys.
Cast about this land, my friend.
It's the guy with the lamp. I can't put this guy and they're coming back to me. These guys are hiding, waiting for me to come out. I have to confirm the kill, so I might have to make assassinations on these guys too, so that's the way it goes now. I think we're going to play around here in London. We're going to have some fun. I haven't been here yet, so... These guys are like... We're just...
our wits about us.
We're just AI. We don't know what to do. Oh, this guy.
Storm brewing there.
All right?
Hey!
I'll do all three of them.
What's going on?
Better keep a lookout.
Hey, wait!
Now what?
Keep my wits about. Hey, hold on. Jesus, what's happening?
Oh, guess who's here, guys? He's here. Kelly's here, man. He's here. Come on in, buddy.
Smells like COVID down here.
Smells like COVID. Smells like Teen Spirit.
How you doing?
Good. Hey, everyone. Say hello to Kelly.
Hello,
Welcome
Kelly.
to the show. There's some warm slippies right there.
Oh, look at you. Fucking got those on the go too. Right on.
So,
Look
because
at
this
that.
place,
Fuck, I love your Darth Vader slippers.
right? I love them.
Let
So,
me get all signed into chat here so I can fucking annoy the one or two people that have drifted in this morning.
so now we're gonna go confirm this kill over here, guys. After we've taken care of all these people.
Is this Valhalla?
Yeah, it's so clunky. It's the worst video game on the planet right now.
No way.
Oh, dude, there's some fun stuff in it, but it's like every game is the same, and this one's even
Your
worse.
time in Midgard is over now.
It's just clunky. It just doesn't work that great.
Well, yea and verily that sucketh.
There's some. Okay, but we are in London, and we have. Oh yeah, that's loud.
How do I
Just turn that
mute
down.
this? Oh, if only it was that easy.
Slide it.
I know. It's like, holy crap, man. I can't even get rid of it. Well, that is
Well, not off
right
now.
fucked up. Like, how does it not? How does it instantly, like, you know what? It's volume or nothing. That's what you're getting. Hello, I'm Twitch, and it's volume or
It
nothing.
does that to me all the time. I have to make sure. I have to go and
Okay,
make sure.
bear with us there, people. I've got to get this crap figured out here. Here, let me just, there, I'm just going to turn it down here, and let's see if that still does that. See? And it still wants to add volume. Here, let me just make this bigger. Oh man, I love that. Look at this, not a single volume control anywhere. Like, and then what's worse, yeah, Twitch, your crap sucks. Like, holy. So I will not be in chat.
Chat's right here. We got it up over on this side.
Go away.
That's
So-
over on that side.
So, but we can do this. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I made it.
No way, Twitch acting funny on mobile. Neat.
Come no
Oh
closer.
yeah.
So yeah.
Dead. No chance.
Well, I like how it's got this little stand, so I don't need. Hey, it's you.
Who's your friend?
Nothing here for
Sure
you.
as hell ain't that guy as he walks off. Looks good down here, man. I like it with the bookshelves and stuff.
Yeah. Well, you've been down here once.
Not since all this was set up. We were down here when a few of the sound panels and the table were set up, but
Oh yeah.
not since you put in the rest of this shizzle.
The for shizzle. So we were painting this shelf, and then we stained it, or we put the clear coat on it.
Yeah.
It cost me $190 to clear coat that, because there's a sensor on the bottom of my water heater that it broke. It picks up gas and fumes. And the fumes, because I couldn't build it outside and then get it down here.
Right.
Because it's a wall unit.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to assassinate this guy. See ya!
Oh man, that is a great camera angle. Really effective for playing.
Right?
What I'd like to do is see the inside of this brick wall while I'm trying to slay a guy.
Oh man, you don't even want to know.
It's that bad, eh?
There's some really broken stuff here. Like, I
mean, it's got some great environment.
Oh, it does. And then it has a lighting, like these lighting effects, like for daylight.
Yeah.
So when you come through somewhere, you get blinded.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the worst. I hate that. That's not what I want in my video game. And I tried a couple of different lighting.
I mean, it's pretty bad. I've identified at least a half dozen bugs just in the short time I've been here.
Right? It is not this is not like, but it's never been a well put together game. Like, they've had a couple of
You mean
times.
Assassin's Creed altogether? Or?
Yes, like the whole, not the game or story, but the actual gameplay has never been good. It's always been, they've had a couple of titles that have been alright, that have, worked out
Wow,
for them.
you actually walk through planets that doesn't have reactive, where they move out of your way and stuff. It's surprising, given the fact that this is
Watch
one of
this.
the later titles.
For this. They move a little bit.
Oh, they do move a little bit, but mostly they just go right through you. Interesting.
So, and then, like, you climb walls. You gotta, like, when you want to climb a wall, you just go and climb a wall, right? And that's a good thing. You just climb it. I love that part about this. But you get into a situation where you want to do... See what I wanted to do there?
They're just insane.
I wanted to go up on here and then go straight up. But it will throw you around because it doesn't know where it wants to go sometimes. It's not terribly bad, but it's not terribly good. And I just hurt myself.
It's about the most nimble dude I've ever seen in my life. I walked on it. It was just like Spider-Man level.
Well, have you watched the parkour guys climb walls? That's. I mean, I never thought people could do that. What this guy does, like, I never thought people could do this.
Well, on those bricks, yeah, okay, I might see that.
But I've seen guys do this on brick walls in places like in Europe where they still have some brick walls. Some of these French parkour guys are amazing. Okay, where am I going? I want to go back to... Is this where I want to go? No, the Assassin's Guild. That's where I want to go. So I just picked up a contract and took a guy out from another group of folks. So I'm going to run over here to the Assassin's Guild. Where is it? Look at this. Look at this. I'm here. This is Londinium. Nope. Okay, I'm gonna have to climb up
And over.
and over somehow.
Now, you can't just leap up and over that.
Well, let's try.
Oh, there you go. Now I'm messing around.
Leap
Oh,
of
wow.
faith, baby.
I mean, that sucks making you dive into a giant pool of what looks like fetid smoke.
It does.
You know, you should all get soaked. But the whole guild smells like wet dog.
Okay, I want to move this.
So move to the side.
Yes, but they won't let me.
Look at how nice and sunny it is in here. Yet it was just night outside.
Yeah, day and night passes pretty quick here. They have the day-night theme, but it's...
Day and night. Little Kid Cudi.
So... And the boots, the sound of the boots
Yeah.
on the stone is horrendously loud.
Oh.
On everything.
So what else is new and exciting?
Not, I'm just fighting a good fight, standing with, oh yeah, I never stopped. Never stopped. We're busy all the time.
Well, that's good.
So,
We stayed up. Well, I mean, we weren't up late last night, but we inflated the queen size air mattress in the living room and moved the table over and got the little torches, the little electric candle torches on either side of the TV and the fireplace going, and watched Alien, the director's cut.
the original.
The original, yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Although there's some things that definitely do not hold up, like when the chest burster scoots across the table and it looks like, this floppy, like, it's
Rubber.
bad. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's bad. It's like, I'm not sure why they even left that scene the way that it was, but... so it's Brett's first time watching that movie.
Oh my word.
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't seen it, honestly, in probably 20 years.
I love it.
Yeah, so, but I knew that we had to get that one out of the way in order to move to the really good one, which is Aliens. That is, like, in my opinion, Aliens, the second movie, is the best movie.
I don't see any other Alien movie after the first two.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because they mostly come at night. Mostly. Like, who doesn't love that line?
Right. I actually have
The first two were plausible, but when they got to the point where they were cloning, using her as a clone, and,
Oh, yeah.
and all of that stuff,
Well,
was
I
like,
mean, it kind of did make sense, just from the aspect that that's what they wanted it for originally, was for the weapons division. So, they wanted to find ways of actually bringing it back after Ripley made did her job and pretty much destroyed the only sample that they had.
Yes.
So now they're like, well, she was impregnated, at one point, so let's try and get her to try and bring back that genetic code to get her to give birth to another one of these things, so that they can have it again for the weapons of it. And the comic books, like if you've ever read like Aliens vs Predator comics or the Aliens series of comics like by Dark Horse, amazing. And they definitely delve deep into like the in-betweens of those movies and how things actually got
the political stuff and like all the backs, like the little sneaky guy from Aliens,
all the Wayland Yutani like political stuff, and like exactly how
the intrigue.
Yeah, and I mean, and so the movies do make sense chained along. I mean, Prometheus, was definitely a pretty sharp segue.
Prometheus didn't do anything for me. I watched it only because it was part of this, like, it's part of the
canon,
story.
Right?
Yeah, it's part of the canon story. So I can't get into the assassin's hideout. I have to find the key. But there's definitely goodies in here. And there's a key here. There's a key.
Christopher Plummer died.
Yes.
That's crazy. 92. I actually have a friend who's a filmmaker who had Christopher Plummer on his to-get list for an upcoming production that looks like it's moving forward quite well. And unfortunately, I have to take him off that list today. So that's kind of sad, being replaced with Robert De Niro. But I mean, hey, if it's a chance that I might get a chance today, but a chance that I might meet Robert De Niro, I'll take it.
He's an interesting character too.
Yep.
So anyway, I can't find the key. So I think the key's inside. I think we locked the key in the house. So I have to find a new way in. I'm leaving the door open though. And it's getting dark out again. So, that gold right there, I think that gold. And I think it's inside the tomb, so I don't think I'll be able to get it. Yeah, it's inside the tomb. The
What do you need to get
assassins.
inside the tomb?
The key, but the key is locked in the house.
And how do you get in the house?
Who knows?
Well, you're an assassin. You think you'd be able to master that B&E thing a little bit better. So
You'd
the
think
grass
so.
moves all right. I mean, other than... I guess my problem is that it really obviously moves through you. There's no physical blockage of environmental objects with the character.
Never has been.
That's fucked up.
You play any of these games, it's the same. This is like playing the first game.
I mean,
Like
it's
the very
brilliantly
first Assassin's
detailed.
Creed. They have lots of great artwork, lots of great stuff here. And let's face it, like the story is pretty fun. What is down here? So on that jump down, I pulled it straight down to jump down, and it didn't. It went to the side.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes it gets confused.
Maybe a little Joy-Con drift or what?
Maybe it's just the operator. Okay, like I'll take the blame if it's me. Okay, this is back into the... Okay, I know where I'm at.
And SACT launching in 3 weeks? The
SACT?
Kickstarter campaign?
Oh, buddy, we have been talking about SACT every week here on the show. So why don't you tell the folks about SACT right now?
Well, if they are just tuning in, that would be a miracle. But
If anybody tuned in.
yeah, if anybody tuned in, that would be a miracle. Yeah, SACT is, well, I mean, I feel an original character anyway. He's got that going for him. He's a slightly sarcastic, highly attitudinal pillow who gets accidentally brought to life and given weapon-wielding, spell-casting, monster-smashing abilities and sent on a quest to destroy evil.
And a cute tushy to boot.
And a cute tissue to boot. And in this particular game, SACT basically falls unconscious in one of the games, and this game actually takes place in the dream that SACT has while he is unconscious.
Jacob Tutu. Oh, I'm on fire.
If they see me, this will get messy.
He's like, oh, I'm just going to sneak over here while I'm flaming.
Well, you know.
Hey!
Hold it, hold you,
Yeah,
coward!
that's not too
Peter!
That is a huge sword whipping around like that. Love that knee up into the chin there.
Watch this. Stun attack.
Oh, wow.
I'll got you!
It's juicy and graphic there.
Die, you bra!
I just beat her with her own shield. And like, I really don't care who the characters are. I just speak ill of all of them who attack me.
That's amazing. I went to type "what's up" and it changed it to some weird text on here.
Yeah.
I found. I'm just doing the old Twitter shout out to let people know that, you know, we're hanging out here.
What a coincidence.
Brett's already retweeted. Hi, Brett, if you're watching.
What's all this?
What's all this, Dan?
So she liked Aliens, or Alien rather, and then next weekend we're gonna dive into the second one, Aliens. Pretty much doing a week by week
I'm gonna assassinate this guy.
marathon. Like he's like, oh, I have no idea.
No
oh, you're just
peace
like
around
resting
here.
there like a bum. Like you look kind of familiar.
We seem to be rusty. Our
Oh,
besta.
lady's running away. Oh yeah, now you gotta drop the body somewhere it won't be seen.
I don't have to, but it
Helps.
it helps. But you can use them. That's the nice thing about it is you can use the bodies as traps.
So anyway, I digress here. Sacked. So that is launching in 3 weeks. Kickstarter on kickstarter.com/projects/SAKD/SAKD.
Max, what is here, you
So
warden?
that's kickstarter.com/projects/sacked/sacked. Unfortunately, with Kickstarter, we had to have sacked twice on there, but it is what it is. Moving forward. But yeah, it's coming along really good. We've got a lot of stuff coming out in the next 3 weeks here in terms of combat and spellcraft demonstrations. And basically, you know, showing all the gameplay scenes a little more live and active. So we're pretty excited about that. Excited and nervous at the same time for the Kickstarter campaign. We started out with the battle maps.
Yes.
Our good friend Jose Esteras, and
Hands up, scum.
we lovingly refer to as GGO. Crafting dynamite battle maps, and there's some new ones coming out here. They're already working on next month's Patreon release. A bunch of destructive city post-apocalyptic stuff. But that's been going really well.
You'll only die tired, thieving!
Our good friend Draconis Firebrand actually recently signed on to support that as well.
Did he?
Yeah.
Right on.
Which hey,
Yes,
thank you very much.
we sure do. Has supported us for quite some time.
Hurry!
Yeah. At times we solely responsible for keeping this bandwagon afloat.
He paid for our website this year, and that's huge. He paid for all the website, everything. So that's where that money goes. It goes into equipment. Like, how's the Elgato using?
Yeah.
Are you using it?
Well, not so much in the not in-person games, but I have been using it to switch up commercials.
Cool.
So yeah, as we're rolling along now, when we cut to the break during our 3 and 4 hour D&D sessions on Friday nights, usually we run some modules and stuff.
Yes, I noticed that.
And help switch up the scenes a bit. Man, that last stomp on my head there is really brutal. And today I'm doing a bit of sculpting, some drawing, drawing. And tonight we have our Camarina Adventures game.
Keep
And
focused.
that one's just a home game, right?
Yeah, that's just a home game. We were streaming it for a while, but there's a lot of people involved in that game that
Maybe they're a little bit less familiar with being online and
well, that, you know, so they're just not as comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of those guys and gals like to, you know, shop talk about work and stuff like that as they're warming up or throughout the game. some elements of those conversations are meant for that group only, not for that wider audience.
Yeah. We don't need people in comments about things we're commenting on.
Yeah, like talking shit about work and stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to talk a little shit about work. Fortunately, I work at home, so
You can talk shit about
I
work
can
all
talk
you
shit
want.
about work. What have you got on the go for tonight?
You're doing your thing on Take 20? Or is it on Ultra Venom?
So I will be, I may be gaming on Ultra Venom. If I do any sculpting or drawing, that one will be live on Take 20 in the Creator Crucible. A lot of the problem right now is the camera and accessibility of camera equipment. So we recently purchased a bunch of equipment to get our VR computer set up in the living room because we have an HD.
The other side must be barred.
So you definitely got to check out the VR, man. It is like
Johnny had his
so
here.
gnarly. The Vive? Was it a
He
Vive
had
or
the
Oculus?
I can't remember which one he's got. I'll have to ask him again. But anyway, we played Beat Saber.
Okay, yeah, that thing is great.
Loved Beat Saber.
Yeah.
Had lots of fun playing.
Dance Collider is really good too. If you like Beat Saber, it's pretty good. And we also got Resident Evil for VR, so I'm interested in trying that out. Yeah. Nothing like being spooked and having creepy shit like attack you or crawl over you in VR.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
I don't like creepy stuff.
And we also got Fancy Skiing, which is really cool. Skiing. And I had not thought when I first got the game that the sense of motion would be as intense as it is, but man, when you pop those skis down on the ground and get yourself going forward, it's like, whoa.
It's
you feel like you launched forward, and then when you go over those huge jumps, you literally feel that ground leave your feet, and it's like, wow, man, just crazy. So it's amazing what the mind does, but
right?
Oh, it's nuts.
Jump off a high spot on here,
Mhm.
and your stomach ends up in your throat.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome.
If you're not doing a leap of faith, if you're doing just like a jumping off a high spot
Yeah.
without doing a leap of faith, you feel like your stomach goes right into your throat.
That's
It's
awesome.
horrendous.
Now
feeling.
imagine this in VR.
Oh my. Yeah. Can you?
Oh my lanta.
There were supposed to be 2 keys here.
Well, maybe one was an actual key and the other was the key of G.
I don't. There's the other key. There's a key over there, and then there's a key over here. See that? But the key is in that house. So,
Yeah.
no, I gotta go over here. And
Yeah, that's not too inconspicuous.
Doo-be-doo-be-doo, strangers in the night. Here, boys. Come on now. And it's weird because you're watching it without sound, and I have the sound.
Right.
What's the fuss?
So I'm just blowing whistles at him, trying to get him to come over.
Pull the wolf's tail.
Boys.
Right? Okay, finally, one takes the bait. And I just double assassination.
Wow, right up and over onto his head. Wow.
I have 0 shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy survived, probably, 35, 40 years in the world just to have you come along and end it just like that.
Pretty much. Oh, there's pity patters. Hi, bud. Now, I think I might have turned off the petting animals feature.
Why would you turn that off?
I think I did it by accident. So I haven't been able to pick up a cat and pet a cat for a while.
Well, you and me both. I'm still severely missing my kitten.
I believe it. Oh, there's the key. There's the key. Right there, on top of the barrel.
I mean, why wouldn't a key be there?
Right? And then that's the key for this house over here.
Like what I like to do is leave my house key on top of the barrel at the neighbor's place.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, that just seems a little shabby.
See the lighting effects
Oh, yeah.
of the lights? Now watch when I open this door.
Oh, yeah, it gets a little bit of a
Oh, it's even worse.
light flash.
It's even worse. See, you go in and it's dark,
Also like how the doors open both ways.
right? See the red bolt there on the door?
Yeah.
That keeps the door from being open. It's barred. It's a pain in the... Another pain in you know what. So, my question is, when are we getting back to playing our little D&D game? I've been wondering that for a while. Like, I've been ready to go since they said we couldn't. Only because I don't care about the lockdown. I really don't.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, everybody in our group has either had it or been exposed to it or whatever. Nobody's sick. So it's like, my question is, what's our holdup? Is it just because the government says we can't?
Yep.
So,
Well, and now there's all the variants, right? Like, if you didn't fear before, and then, well, now we're making sure that you fear because there's, dozens and dozens of variants, and any one of them could be, more prolific and prevalent than the previous ones. So they're just going to keep the ball rolling like this for a while they, do what they got to do to make sure the upper echelons of the pyramid get what they need to get.
yeah. Well, you've seen Isle of Man, right?
Nope.
So the Isle of Man is a small island in
I know what the Isle of Man
Yeah,
is.
it's in the Irish Sea.
Yeah.
0
Mm-hmm.
lockdowns.
Mhm.
They just lifted everything. They went 25 days.
Well, it's like New Zealand, too. I mean, a lot of people like to compare and say, well, look at what New Zealand's done. They're at 0 cases, and they locked things right down. It's like, well, New Zealand is also an island.
Yeah.
New Zealand's an island. Like, so, say what you will. It's a little bit easier to lock down that population and, prevent things from coming in and out of an island than it is from, a country with millions and millions and millions of people.
Mm. It's even like New York and like California ended all their lockdowns.
Oh, have they already?
Newsom lifted all of them. Cuomo lifted all of them. Like, they're talking about opening everything up in New York State and in California.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Because Florida's been open all the time. Texas has been open all the time.
I mean, without waxing, conspiracy theorist and tinfoil hat shit, I will say that if you're looking at the news now and you're looking at the overall situation with COVID and stuff, yes, okay, there's COVID. A lot, I think the majority of us can agree that yes, there is a thing called COVID. Yes, it exists. Yes, people are dying, which is extremely tragic, and I certainly don't mean to downplay that at all.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's some shit that just ain't making sense at all.
What is it making sense?
Like cramming 5,000 people into a Walmart and you're not allowed, to stand, somehow 3 people standing less than 6 feet apart in a household is, going to cause rampant cases of tragedy. You can just funnel people in and out of a Walmart, and yet you're not allowed to, have 2 people over at your house over the Christmas holidays.
Right.
You're allowed to cram, 230 to 340 people onto an airplane, and with recycled air, and say what you will about their filtration system and stuff. So there's just some things that just are really not making sense. No matter how much the news likes to, ply the fear train down, people's tracks, I think common sense has to prevail, and we need to look at the overall bigger picture and say, this shit is ludicrous. You can't expect people to believe everything that is going on right now.
Owns you!
Like, and it's not conspiracy theory shit. It's legitimate, common sense. Yeah, this is fucking, like, just doesn't make sense.
How about that one?
That's a good one. Right in the old face with an axe.
That is, I'm not gonna lie, that's my favorite part of the game.
Did you use his axe against him?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Now I'm gonna walk up to this lady. We're gonna talk. Easy, sweetheart. Easy. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to impose my will upon. I'm here to impose my will on everyone.
Holy Hitler. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm just here to impose my will on every one of you. No big deal.
This guy came back to life. He was dead on the ground and he just came back to life.
They do that.
And where did the other guy go? Where'd the other guy go? That I just
Well, he's
took
busy
out.
coming back to life inside the little alcove there to your other way.
Yeah, in here.
Straight ahead of you there, right?
Yeah, no, he's not.
Oh, I thought I saw him.
Like,
Fluga!
Fluga, Fluga. She's like screaming, Fluga, Fluga. What's in this place? Oh, can't see nothing. Light a torch.
But it's like the hospital numbers and stuff, and they say, oh, the hospitals are overwhelmed and they're at capacity, they're over capacity and stuff like that. Well, for those of us that have actually been down to the hospital, there is none of that going on. Legitimately none of that going on. None of it.
You know, there was nurses in Edmonton who went and told had a public
forum kind of thing?
Outside. This was back in the fall. They were there, or back in December. I can't remember, December or November.
Yeah.
They were talking about that, and they were like asking the same questions. Where's all these patients?
Yeah. Yeah, where are these, like how are the ICU beds all rammed full? How is the hospital under lockdown emergency? And literally, you show up at the hospitals here in Edmonton, and you're just watching people walk casually in and out. I mean, people are masking up and stuff, but it does not appear, and I'm not going to say it's not, because I'm not deep in the hospital, and maybe I don't know, but from an observer's point of view, there is not the massive, lockdown crisis of hospitals and ICU beds that is being reported on the news.
Nope.
No, I mean, for any sensible person, the news is garbage.
Yes.
It's absolute garbage. They have been doing nothing but reporting. I mean, you maybe get a minute and a half of news from across the planet because, since COVID, everything else has stopped. There's literally no more earthquakes, no more tornadoes, no more disasters,
no more colds.
There's nothing going on in the entire planet anymore other than COVID. So that's the rhetoric that the news is wanting to apply is just COVID, 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 and they're reporting numbers of people that have gotten COVID, and they just want to keep reporting the cases of people that have COVID.
And cases don't necessarily mean infection.
Right.
I was listening to Dr. Sam Bailey from New Zealand. She has a YouTube channel, and she was explaining that COVID cases don't actually mean infection.
Well, I mean, it means that you have gotten COVID cases means you have gotten infected with COVID, but what they're not reporting is the people who've recovered. And they're not decreasing the number according to people who have recovered from COVID and whatnot. They're just keeping that number because it's only ever going to increase. It's like saying, okay, well, we've got X amount of cases of flu at the beginning of the year,
right.
and we're just going to keep building that number, never reporting who's recovered. So the number's only ever going to get bigger.
I was watching another video on YouTube, and the lady said, yeah, my husband died in a car accident, and he had COVID. So they called it a COVID death.
Yeah. And that's,
so that's who's padding the numbers?
Right.
That's my next question. Who's padding those numbers?
Right. Well,
I believe that there's definitely people who were compromised by this virus.
Yeah.
This virus that came across from China. And
well, if that's in fact where it came from, I mean, there's some.
Well, it was developed in the U.S., and then they put a moratorium on developing this particular virus. Fauci sent it to Wuhan to be finished because he had the extra money left over in his budget.
Yeah, but to be developed by what? I mean, there's still a lot of speculation.
The lab in Wuhan. Yeah, he sent the virus and everything and the money to them to finish it.
Yeah, to finish it for what? What was the purpose of finishing a virus?
Well,
like what?
We now know that Donald Trump is not the president.
Yeah, what does that mean, though?
Because It was just part of the bigger game. That's my putting on my silver hat, saying there's a bigger thing going on here.
Well, that much is certain. I mean, there's a lot of speculation, but without drowning out the observable facts with speculation, it definitely there's a bigger picture, and definitely we are not being told.
Not in the
everything.
mainstream media.
Yeah.
I listened to Mike Lindell.
Well, you got to be careful about those people too, because I mean, we've seen a lot of like over speculative rhetoric being spewed by people who are quote unquote doctors or quote unquote professionals in this, that, and the other, and really, like, to be blunt, who the fuck are these people?
He's interviewing some guy from MIT
Yeah, but I mean, again, like
who went over all
you
that.
don't think MIT has idiots?
Oh, you
don't
every
think
university does.
Right.
Hey, look, Nate had me.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, you don't think that, MIT has conspiracy theorists and QAnon and people like that? Of course they do.
I just think there's something bigger
God's
going on.
here.
Oh, 100%. I mean, and that's the thing, is like, even if you're not wearing the tinfoil hat, even if you are the greatest skeptic in the entire world, you have to be able to look at the facts before us and say that there is some bigger picture going on.
Yep.
There's no way that the media pushes the dialogue that they're pushing as hard as they're pushing it without some underlying plan to it. I mean, we know that major media is being controlled by larger groups and corporations who are themselves being controlled by smaller individuals and smaller groups of people.
But that's what media doesn't want you to know.
Right.
Media doesn't want you. So I was telling people that on my own Twitter account, and they Twitter banned my account because I was tweeting stuff like that out, and they were calling it hate. It was hate and spam and.
And there again, okay. So for everybody that's on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and everything else, what is Twitter and Instagram?
They are social media platforms for people to share information.
So what is the one word in that thing? Media. They are media. They are controlled and owned by a larger group of people that are going to decide the story that flows out from that media channel.
Yeah, but are they allowed to censor media? That's the big question being asked right now.
Well, they are now. They are now, because if anybody's done that, Twitter has proved that they can do that.
Facebook has, YouTube
has. Well, I mean, Facebook, YouTube, Google are all, kind of colluding.
Yes, they are. I agree.
On the stories that are being presented as either fact, or the stories that are being allowed, whether fact or not, to be driven out into the public.
Question. What was the question? I wanted to ask you a question. Sorry.
Well, good.
But yes, they are in collusion with one another. They are owned by elitist, globalist, agenda-seeking people. That's my opinion.
Well, I definitely think that the upper echelon of whatever pyramid structure we're living in has a great deal to do with the story and the narrative being plowed through public trough.
Yep, I agree.
And what the actual end goal, the end result. I mean, there's lots of people speculating on New World Order and this, that, and the other. And I mean, say what you will, whatever your story is or whatever your theory is on how it's all going to play out, you just really have to look at the base facts and just say,
I should not be seen in this
everything
area.
that I'm being fed right now is bad. There's just no way it can be. 2 + 2 does not equal 5. So it's all got to be taken with a grain of salt. But on that same token, you can't just go rush a Capitol building or do things like that are going to basically put you in a position where you can either be jailed or your opinions can be stifled or anything like that. So you have to be smart about it.
And I don't care what side of the line anybody falls on. When you stifle that freedom of being able to express yourself, you take away people's ability to communicate, and to communicate like this.
I agree, but at the same time, when you have a global population, and I'm sorry, planet Earth, but the global population, the majority are fucking idiots. And I'll put that as bluntly as possible. Fucking idiots. And we've seen that time and time again. Whenever they're like, I mean, if aliens were to land tomorrow, there would be so much rioting, looting, raping, pillaging, people killing themselves, people shooting. You remember Independence Day? People standing on the roof of the apartment shooting guns at the aliens, and, you know, holding up big banners, wearing alien masks and stuff. That would actually be happening.
Well, there'd be some weird stuff going on.
And I'm not saying that, you know, everybody's idiots. I'm just saying the majority of the population is not well educated enough, and that's through no fault of their own. That is through, like, you know, calculated decisions by governments to suppress overall...
And media.
And media to suppress the overall populace's intellect and craving to have answers to questions.
Because they don't want people to have them.
They don't want people to have opinions of their own and, you know, to have a generally free mindset. And there's so much evidence to that.
Yes.
You know, I'm not spewing anything that isn't knowing.
That isn't
known.
not already known. Yeah. And some people don't realize that.
Yeah. All you got to do is look at the education system to know that here, Johnny put you. I mean, a lot of the education system that we still are in today is based on a need to get people into trades as quickly as possible, to get them working and to get them contributing to the economy as quickly as possible.
And why? Why do we need them contributing to the? I did go down some rabbit holes on this. Why do we need them into the population contributing and making money as quickly as possible? Well, I did some research.
It's a money funnel up the chain. It's like so that, you know, people can you know, contribute to making money for those of us that don't have any money.
And that's so.
And it is, like, I mean, that's what world economies have been about for, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Since
the
world, the inception, right?
Yeah, and I mean, things are changing. People, and certainly with homeschooling, things are getting a little weirder, but things are changing. The education system's changing. People are, you know, realizing that, hey, you know, box A doesn't work for, you know, humans 1, 2, and 3 as well as it did before, where people just like willingly hopped into the box, learned what they were going to learn, got a job. Now people are asking questions. Now people are diversifying into all kinds of interests. They're having their own minds, their own opinions, their own and so it's getting a lot more gray, I guess, the area, rather than so much black and white.
Yes. Too much gray and not enough black and white, I think.
Well,
not enough truth, because truth is mutually exclusive, right?
Yeah.
You can't have, like, gravity is gravity, all right? Just because I'm high on marijuana and want to jump out of a plane with a
which, by the
without
way,
a
people
parachute
on marijuana do not want to do. The movies have done that to like weed to,
you know what I'm saying? Just
it,
because I'm high on some drugs or whatever,
yeah,
and some voice tells me, oh, you can fly, you don't need a parachute.
Right.
Truth is mutually exclusive. If you put yourself out of an airplane at 10,000 feet, you're going to go down.
But rather than
that's gravity.
But rather than people like using common sense, rubbing two brain cells together to produce friction or whatever have you, to say, hey, this makes sense or this doesn't, people are willing to follow, you know. And, you know, I'm sorry to pull the Trump card on here, but, I mean, there was a whack load of followers that will just line up on the bandwagon and believe whatever. I mean, there are people in the States that, I don't care whether it's Joe Biden, Obama, Trump, or if that person told a group of people to jump out of that airplane and that it would be safe, those people are legitimately stupid enough, and I'm not using that word, like, lightly. They are legitimately stupid enough to jump out of that airplane.
Yes.
Thinking that they will be safe because that other person told them that they would.
Right?
You know, so rather than formulate their own opinions,
and I think people are starting to now in the U.S., especially formulate their own opinions because now they saw all the economic advancements they had under Trump, the lower taxes, all the economic advantages they had under Trump, and how much people were working, and the climbing, and now under Joe Biden, he's already shut down Keystone.
Right.
He's taken the $30 billion that Trump got from the Chinese tariffs that they never paid. So he got the money from them, and he executive ordered that to the farmers in the U.S. to pay for the subsidies that the Chinese were getting. So Trump was giving them $30 billion, the American farmers. Joe took that $30 billion and he stuffed it into his $1.2 trillion, already $1.2 trillion
Stimulus package.
Green New Deal.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I know there's lots of supporters on one side that want to hate the other side, which is the one thing.
I don't hate any of those guys.
Well, the one thing you got to realize is, like, it's the same thing with Trudeau getting in over here, you know, and then everybody wanted. It's the same thing that happens every time. The new government gets in, and everybody wants to blame the new government on what happened, thinking it's that government, when all they're doing is cleaning up a huge fucking mess that was left by the previous government. So, I mean, it's not like, you know, Trudeau just stepped in and said, oh, you know, we're going to just, like, make all this shit happen. And there's not any of this fallout from what happened by the previous administration.
Oh, the conservatives in this country have been worse than the liberals for a long time. Making messes with our economy.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a long time.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, you'll get people, and that's another problem, is the polarization of political views. There's no happy medium. It's like, it's left or right. It's blue or red.
Oh.
It's, you know, it's not like it's not like anybody's actually looking at the overall scope of things and saying, you know what, red has some good points here. Blue has some great points here as well. Can we meet in the middle and, like, merge these points, and can you guys stop arguing like little children, and let's like look at common sense and what's going to work for everybody as a majority. You know, and a lot of people are jumping on the Bernie Sanders socialist reform side in the States and stuff like that. And I mean, I hate to say it, I've done a little bit of research, and maybe I'm, you know, talking out my ass here, but socialism has not been the answer in the past. That has not worked very well in the past at all.
Ever.
I mean, I get the whole, like, you know, pay system where, you know, there should be a universal basic income, and in a lot of respects, I do believe that's true. And again, the money has to come from somewhere, so let's consider that for a moment.
Yeah, who's going to pay for that?
Yeah, who is going to pay for that? Where's that money going to come from? My answer is always the fucking military, because let me tell you, you know, if everybody's gawking and throwing up in their mouths over the $1.92 trillion stimulus package Joe Biden's presenting to the rest of the world and saying this is going to fix stuff. If you look at the global average spending for military budgets in Europe, United States, Canada, like all over, where the hell are the wars?
Well, that's just it. Why was Trump over in the Middle East signing these guys to sign peace contracts, peace deals? Like, he was ending, like, he pulled U.S. military out of a lot of places. His administration pulled a bunch of military. He got Netanyahu together and a bunch of other Middle East guys together to sign peace deals.
Yep.
He went and signed a peace deal with what's his pickle there in North Korea.
Oh yeah,
right.
Kim Jong-il.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so one of the first things he did was go and he went by himself. When he crossed that line, he went by himself.
Yeah.
And you know what? They shook hands.
Yep.
And they talked like you and I are talking.
Well, that's because it's dictator to dictator. I mean, like, Trump was like a president in quotes, because, like, I mean, there's a dude that just wasn't putting up with any of the public opinion anyway.
He wasn't putting up with I know he wasn't going to put up with BS.
Like, and
he's a businessman, and you know what? He's not a politician. I like what people were saying down in the U.S. This is the first time they've ever had an actual businessman run the business. Well, that was the U.S.
Businessman, and at the same time, like, we are, and J-Man and I are, like, you know, two polar opposites on the field of, like,
not always, not always.
But at the same time, I will give credit to Trump for being a decisive decision maker, but at the same time, look, U.S., stop hiring fucking actors. Stop hiring people that have been on TV and use the media the way that every single actor that has been, ported over into administration of an entire country. Just stop doing it. Stop hiring. It's like Justin Trudeau up here. Like, you know, so many people want to jump on the Trudeau bandwagon. The guy is an actor. And you know, what do actors do? They act.
Yeah.
They're not even close to real people when it comes to their faces in the media.
No, and his face looks too much like Fidel's anyway. So.
Right. Yeah, That's a great rumor.
I love that.
That's a
Because
great
I got a picture of him on my phone. One beside him and Fidel, side by side.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
They do look alike.
Yeah.
I'm like, no wonder his dad was good friends with Fidel.
Yeah, no doubt.
I don't know where I am or what I'm doing. We're just having a good time.
But, you know, there's so much going on in the world right now. I think that, like, the bottom line to this entire conversation is just use your head.
Yeah, for more than just
Use
a
your
hat
head.
rack.
You know, don't just believe everything that you hear. Don't fall into the rhetoric. You know, don't listen to everything J-Man says. Don't listen to everything
Don't
Kel
listen
says.
to anything I say.
You know, don't listen to everything your neighbors are telling you, or even doctors on TV are telling you.
Go and get the information.
Yeah, go get the information, and not from YouTube, not from QAnon,
But-
not from. I mean, use YouTube by all means.
Use
but
it.
Dig around.
Dig around and read the articles.
Yeah.
Go to the places and read the art, and that's what I had to start doing.
I mean, the
Reading
problem
the
is
articles.
the problem is trying to find reliable, independent news sources because that's
Well, that's just it.
an extinct creature now.
I like Breitbart. I get some information from Breitbart, but when somebody posts a link, guys, use the link. Go and read the article for yourself. Go and read. If they post a report from some medical place,
Yeah.
go and read the article.
Yeah, and then
Go and read it for
and then
yourself.
don't just read it. Read it, weigh it out, measure it, find out whether it's wanting or not.
Yes.
And then continue that forage for information. You know,
Yes.
Do some
Keep
comparative analysis. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to
Nope.
be well educated.
Nope.
Just bring the information together in front of you, and you'll start to see where the holes appear.
Hey, if you can read a book, you guys can do this.
Yeah.
Like, honest.
And if you can't read a book, you know, find somebody to teach you how to read a book. We understand if you can't read a book because of what we've seen from the manipulation of the education system over the last several hundred years.
Especially
We
in the last
understand.
35, 40 years.
Yeah.
Well, I can't get into this place, and I've been really wanting to get into this place.
Is that the one where you got the second key, you got into the house, and then you needed to find another key?
I
for
got
another
the
house?
other key, and then I just found another key from the fat guy that I murdered. So we'll just do something different. I would like to do like a main quest, but I don't have any main quests. I'm supposed to go around this Oxford. Say this name, Oxenfordshire. Oxenfordshire. I'm supposed to go around here in Oxford. This Oxenfordshire, and help these dudes out. So I'm gonna get out of London because I'm in London.
This place is great, Oxenfordshire, Frugenstrudel. Like, you know,
Frugenstrudel.
It's like, love these names.
Yeah. And you guys will notice, like, we don't usually talk a lot about this stuff, but this is Saturday morning. We could talk about anything you guys want to talk about. We have the player's handbook here.
Oh,
Listen.
speaking of great books to start reading, this is like,
This is where I learned. Here you go.
You know
This is
what?
where I learned how to read. I started learning how to read by playing Dungeons and Dragons.
you know what? That's where I learned advanced reading. Like, of course, we got all the basics in school, but in grade 8, I think. Actually, no, early in that, grade 6.
Grade 7 and 8.
Yeah, grade 6,
7,
7, somewhere in there.
9.
That's when I started reading this stuff, and I learned like words like proficiency and
Yes.
you know, it's like a veritable. Have your dictionary handy when you you read this. But even the old books, I mean, the old Dungeons and Dragons
Like the first
DM's
edition.
guide.
Yep.
Holy cow! A
Lots.
lot of big words.
There's lots
a
of
lot
words.
of big words.
It's a big book.
Yeah, but by the end of going through that and playing some games with friends over a couple of years, your linguistic capabilities and your comprehension of languages is hands down
You gain
better.
so much more, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hire this guy.
I'd gladly
When
reave
you
the
recruit
Swan
somebody, what
Road
does it
by
mean?
your
They
side,
follow you
Eivor.
around?
Yeah, they end up fighting in our.
To me, warrior, let gold and glory be our mead and mead.
And I mean, now we're in the second year of lockdown. I mean, we're
They-
what
and
we're
when they
heading
first
into
said,
it.
what did they first say?
Oh,
3 weeks to curb the.
Right, and that was back at the beginning. 3 weeks to curb the or to bend the curve.
I got one for you. I watched a video the other day, wintertime. Dude's like, we need to wear 2 masks.
Right.
He's outside. What happens outside when you breathe in the wintertime?
Well, it condenses.
So
It becomes
put
dew
on
the inside of your mask.
he put on multiple masks. And what are the
They froze?
COVID? What are the COVID things carried on? The molecules, the germs, the virus. They're carried on water vapor, right?
Right out the side, yeah.
So, tell me,
Because he's blocking any flow through of air, yeah.
So masks are effective for spreading the virus out to the side.
Well, I mean, we've definitely seen how like a lot of these masks are not effective. I mean, if you're in between 6 feet of somebody, like myself and Jason here, and we're staring at each other, and we're breathing into their faces, you might get some form of protection there. But and I'm not even kidding you. There's households of friends here, like where people have gotten COVID and they've gotten a positive test result back, and they've been in the same household of 5 other people, and those 4 other people in the household is that 5th person in there for weeks, 6 weeks of lockdown, and did not get it.
Yeah.
One person in that household got it, and this is on multiple occasions.
So the World Health Organization admitted 3 weeks ago that their PCR numbers, and that's their testing numbers, were out to lunch.
Right.
They came out and said our numbers were way out to lunch. The numbers are actually lower. So most people that have been tested that came positive, they have not been positive.
Right.
And Dr. Fauci said, and he's the head of the CDC, he said anybody who has a PCR test of 35 or greater, that's usually just dead cells.
Like they had it, it's gone.
Dead cells.
So my first 2 tests, I was required to get tested for work and whatnot. My first 2 tests came back inconclusive. And I'll tell you, the first 3 times that I've gone to get tested were the biggest bullshit ever. Because the first time I went, they lost my file. I sat outside the testing center for 20 minutes before a nurse finally came out and said, "Are you supposed to be here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I booked my appointment online. It gave me the appointment confirmation and everything else." And then she's like, "Oh, well, we don't have you. We see we've lost your record. We're going to have to book another appointment." So I ended up having to miss another day of work to come back, get tested again. That test, and I've known people that have gotten test results back in 2 days. A text on their phone, your test result is negative, and that point. My test result, I didn't get back for 2.5 weeks. So that means 2.5 weeks of bloody uncertainty. Where what am I supposed to hunker down in my bunker, not work, not on the speculation that I may or may not be positive with 0 symptoms?
You know what the problem was? You didn't get the new Chinese anal test.
Oh, I've heard the rumors about that too. Anything to get a little anal.
Yeah. You know they will. Yeah, I know. They're a queer bunch over there.
Oh my gosh.
No filters.
Yeah, on
no
that
filters.
we'll have to disagree. No, I love China. Really, I do.
It's a beautiful country.
Yeah.
I love China. But why are there soldiers here in Canada training?
Well, they've always been training. Even even Princess Patricia's military force that guards her is like the Gurkhas, and I think they're like Filipino soldiers and whatnot. So they've always brought in groups of soldiers from other countries to train here, just like we send our soldiers from here to train over there as well.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, military exchanges happen all the time. And that's because some countries have ways of doing things, and when there's peace agreements between countries, they like to share that. I mean, let's not kid ourselves on how many times the U.S. military has gone into other countries and trained soldiers only to fuck right off and let those soldiers fend for themselves after doing so. Not to mention arming people and we don't even want to go down
that's JFK wanted to stop a lot of that stuff, and that's why he was murdered. He wanted to expose all the crap, all that elitist stuff going on when he was taken out of business. So
I think he wanted to end the reliance on the dollar.
Yes, he wanted to close the central bank, and that's the deep state central bank. That's all that That's the Rothschilds.
Yeah, and that's not even tinfoil hat shit. Do some digging on that subject. I mean, just look far and wide. Consume
I
as
did.
much as
That's
you
why I
did.
know.
Yeah.
I went and dug and found out that the Rothschilds are actually descended from the Russian Jews that were kicked out of Russia. They became Jesuits, and parts of those families became wealthy. So they had Jesuit priests in the family. They're tied to the Jesuits. They started banking organizations and other organizations. These Jewish families, and they took on Christendom.
Yeah.
When they came from Russia, and they built this elite group of people in the New World.
I know everybody's rocking on Jeff Bezos for being like, or Elon Musk for being the richest person in the world. Go down that rabbit hole, and we're talking like $392 trillion worth of wealth.
I went down, and I didn't realize how big. Like if you go,
it's huge. Yeah,
there's if you go to And We Know on Rumble, and you watch their
taking everything you see with a grain of salt.
No, they went down that hole. They went down that. They explained. They did what are those things called? Documentary. It's like a 3-hour documentary. I watched the whole thing, and I was like,
oh yeah, I mean,
it's the central bank. The central bank isn't owned. The Fed isn't owned in the U.S. isn't owned by the government. It's owned by the elites. It's part of the and the U.S. Like if you don't know, guys here in the U.S. and Canada, that Washington D.C. is not a part of the United States. Okay?
Technically, from that aspect, yes,
They're not. They're not.
But and I mean,
they're owned by a company. They're owned by a bank in England. England owns the United States, and they still own Canada through a contract signed in the 30s.
We don't even want to go down. We don't want to even go down the whole royal family thing. And I'm sorry,
that's
like
horrible.
I'm not even going to apologize to people who are royal worshippers. And
I
stuff
used to be,
that.
and then I found out the truth.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of these people inherited a lot of these so-called royals, and I'm not just talking the Queen and Prince Charles and stuff like
All
that.
the
I
royals.
mean all the royals.
The Dutch royals are some of the worst.
Yeah, they inherited their stuff, and we're talking wealth and power being handed down to morons.
Yes.
Wealth and power being handed down by really people who look at other people as objects and as things to be used.
Yep.
And it's not necessarily their fault either, because they've been raised up through that generationally. So they've just become these people that just. I mean, they're not even people anymore.
Oh, and that's what ended up happening to us. That's so when you earn money, you have been illegally taxed. If you're a U.S. citizen, you've been illegally taxed to pay for their lifestyle.
Well, let's not even get started.
That's where that money goes.
Let's not even start on income tax in Canada.
Oh, it's illegal as well.
It's absolutely an atrocity. The amount of money that we donate out of every single paycheck to go towards funding infrastructure programs and things like that, when it's really just a huge scrape off the top. You don't legally have to pay income tax in Canada. However, if you don't pay income tax in Canada, Canada can basically say, no, if you want health care or anything else,
about this land, my friend.
You can't go to hospitals here. You can't, apply for a lot of things that you would normally be able to apply for in your country. So, and I don't know if Canada is the only place that is the case, but technically you do not have to pay income tax. And maybe something have changed on that in the last 5 to 10 years.
I honestly haven't done any big research on it. I just know
it's crazy. And I don't mean tinfoil hat crazy. I mean it's really weirdly crazy how legitimized that whole income tax thing has become in the public eye. But on the backside of things, it's not technically legal. We pay a lot in income tax.
Yes, too much.
Yeah.
And it's been paid to the central bank, and then it gets laundered and comes back to the elites.
Yeah.
Tell me this. How does a guy who's a senator in the U.S. who makes $180,000 a year as a senator become a multi-millionaire? And I'm talking about Sleepy Joe. He is a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, okay.
But how does that happen?
Well, usually through business dealings, investments, or
Exactly right. So,
But Trump is, Trump is the same as Sleepy Joe. Only Trump fucked up and failed on numerous occasions, borrowed money and used other people's money to fund.
he did, and that's the system. That's the system that was built for him to use, though, by the global elitists.
And then
And he
just
used
fucked
it
up.
against
Well, that's
him.
capitalism. I mean, that's the founding principles of capitalism that they've been working with.
But like everybody said, oh, he got into power just to use it to make gains, right?
Make gains. The dude's like 108 years old.
No,
he's not really. I
he's
know
72.
I know he's 72, but he's ancient as hell. And I mean, if you think
Joe's
that
80. Just about 80,
Yeah, I know.
79.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
they're both ancient.
It's like, and that's what I mean. It's like these are two guys that have been raised up on capitalist principles since the day they were born. They've worked within that system. It's just a fucked up system altogether. Like if you think socialism is bad, capitalism has its flaws. Each system has its flaws.
None of them are right.
And it's
none
the
of them.
same thing as I was saying before with Republicans and Democrats, liberals versus conservatives.
This is not that.
It's just what I'm saying is that there are points to either system that works.
Yes.
But as a system exclusively, it does not work. Capitalism's the same thing. This is why we have 30, 40 people, and I mean there's a lot more than that. But we have just a small demographic of people that have the majority of the wealth in the world.
Yes.
While everybody else starves and struggles to survive. You love capitalism? Well, there's capitalism for you in a nutshell.
Let's squirrel and go back to the game. This is how broken this game is. I want to go up. I'm pressing the button. I want to move around.
Mm-hmm.
I can only go this way, the way I don't want to go.
Okay. And you can't leap off and grab onto that window ledge?
Window ledge at all. Until I go down. Go across. And I got to be lined up perfect.
Oh, and then you can leap up. Oh.
So we just wanted to get off of the
Yeah, I mean, we've been harshly political today.
We don't mind talking about this.
It's good subject matter. I mean, if you're looking to tune in for just, solid role-playing game stuff, tune into the other shows. This is just really...
Come on!
Thanks for hanging out with us. If you're hanging out with us, and if you're not, maybe we'll see you next time.
But this will be up on YouTube, and you guys will be able to watch us, and you guys will be able to
throw
comment.
down your own debate. Throw down your own commentary.
Yes. We like talking about all of this stuff.
Like, I'm open-minded. But really, we're open-minded enough to listen to the opinions and stuff. You got some more information, you want to lay some stuff down in the channel.
Absolutely.
There's no judgment on your tinfoil hat here.
No, there isn't.
We just realize that everybody's got different opinions. There's a lot of information and even more disinformation and misinformation going around. And just like everybody on the planet, we're trying to get to the bottom of it.
Yes.
As best we can from our
limited perspective
on the bottom of the pyramid. And if you don't think there's a pyramid, look at your fucking money.
Yeah, there is. And hey, just so y'all know, hold the line on AMC, hold the line on hold the line
AMC, American Movie.
No, the American the theater chain.
Oh yeah.
Hold the line. If you haven't seen Wall Street Bets, have you seen Wall Street Bets?
No.
And what's going on with? I gotta get the hell.
Well, GameStop and
GameStop,
AMC?
Yeah. Hold the line. If you guys invest, don't get rid of your investments. Don't be scared of the hedgies. They're trying to screw the rest of us. They're part of that elite group of people who are trying to just...
Now, that said, every bubble has a popping point. So,
yeah, we're not Don't get me wrong. I don't have any investment knowledge at all.
We could have got rich off of GameStop like a lot of people did, but that's short selling. It's basically bargaining that something's going to drop at some point. So you plan on that.
And those guys bet on that, and they lost because people.
A lot of people didn't lose. A lot of people made a lot of money.
Yeah, no, but the hedge fund managers, the people who were screwing us, they lost.
Yeah.
They lost big time, and from what I'm hearing is
I
that
have
people
weakened
just.
Edwin's defenses enough. Ambushing her soldiers should be my final strike before the battle
Where's
begins.
crypto at these days? Anybody
It
doing
went down.
cryptocurrency?
It went down a little bit, from what I understand. Oh, you want to get news on that stuff? X22 report on Rumble or Santa surfing beach broadcast.
See, me and Britt invested $1,400 about 6 months ago,
So
and that's where it's at now.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so we're at like $3,500 now.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, and I mean we've diversified our portfolio into a couple of different, like we're in Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum. Elon Musk recently tweeted out about Bitcoin and Dogecoin and saw sharp spikes. But it's been consistently rising. A lot of people are probably kicking themselves in the ass for getting out of Bitcoin when they did. I know there was a sharp drop, a really dramatic drop, where a lot of people, quote unquote, lost money, which is a bit of bullshit because, you know, your quantity of cryptocurrency doesn't change. It's the value of the currency that changes. Just like if you've got stocks in a company, the quantity of your stocks doesn't change. It's the value of that stock.
And they're going up.
And they're going up.
Bitcoin is going up. It did take that drop.
Yeah, and it's like people whining about losing money on cryptocurrency. It's cryptocurrency. You're gonna have drops. It's the most volatile thing ever. It goes like this. Other stocks, they do this little, you know, up and down. Crypto is like this.
Yeah, it's a ride at the fair, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And remember, like we're not experts at this. Like I
Not
know
by
have
any
zero
means.
knowledge,
Yeah.
zero. But I have some money set aside. First of all, I'm going to invest in the Kickstarter starting March.
We love you.
March what?
March 2nd.
March 2nd.
Yeah.
We're I got some money squirreled away for that, and I'm going to get my copy of Sacked.
Oh, can I just interject on this moment? If anybody's interested in pledging on the Sacked Kickstarter campaign on March 2nd, there is some really awesome limited amount pledge opportunities there for people. We're going to, for certain levels of pledges, we're going to put your name on tombstones in the graveyard. We're going to put your name on the base of a statue in like the final levels and stuff like that. We're going to put your name as a supporter of this game in a prominent place in this game where you'll be able to go through and see your name pop up in that game.
Just like a stone, like on a flagstone,
a stone plaque on a grave,
or on
an
the
actual tombstone,
Yeah.
or on the base of a really cool
or on a memorial.
statue. Yeah,
Like you see, like I know, like when they built the here in our town, when they built the pavilion,
yep,
they put everybody's name who donated to build the pavilion.
that's right. Yeah,
inside the pavilion.
yeah, and actually, one of the pledge rewards is we will actually work with you to develop a boss creature. For a special level that we've set aside in Sacked, a special bonus level, and you'll have an opportunity to help work with our animators and artists to develop a creature that's a little all your own there.
I want to be a fat J-Man boss creature.
Right? Could be.
You
right?
will love Donald!
Yeah. Big orange face, yellow haired ogre. Okay. Oh, man. I don't know.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We've already got the mind ticking here.
Oh, good times. And guys, we will be back with our little D&D game. It will be back on air soon.
Yeah. Now, that said, I mean, Chronicles of Krylos is still going strong. We are heading into our 30th episode. So it has actually been going on for almost 2 years now. Episode 30, things are always pretty exciting, but the party is neck deep in the sewers of the city of Calambray on the search for Elsith, a wizard of high renown who they've interacted with in previous episodes. And then, you know, if they're able to recover him in time before he's either killed or smuggled off to somewhere else, then it'll likely lead them on a quest towards the Blood Ice Peaks, a huge mountain range, and the Thane Spire, so this dwarven forge where a key to the black gate that guards the phylactery of Amangul So I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and things are getting a little hot and heavy. The party doesn't quite realize what's coming up, which is good.
What level are they at?
I think they're at level 7 and 8.
Yeah.
So they're getting up there. As a DM, some parts are getting a little bit challenging for me to keep them challenged.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of power, and there's 6 people in their party right now.
Yeah.
So they've got an Asimar, a half ogre, of course a thief, a wizard, necromancer, and Gonbops the gnome, Kite, who's ninja extraordinaire, and each
Is
one
he
of
human?
them. Yeah, Kite is human. And they've all got little chunks of backstory that are kind of interacting with the campaign as well. Some of them have followed those rabbit holes. Some of them have rabbit holes in waiting to follow. But it's going amazing. So I'm really enjoying the campaign.
It's actually, for an online game, it's one of the best online games I've seen.
Well, that's awesome.
And there's a lot of them out there that get more viewership, and I'm not lying. But when you look at their Twitter stats, like that last week's episode was 35 views.
Okay, yeah.
Again.
That's awesome.
So people are watching it.
We just never pay attention to that stuff.
But they're not watching in-game necessarily.
Right. They're watching afterwards.
They're watching afterwards.
Yeah, and that's really good. I mean, if they can't tune in, the fact that they're still taking the time, and thank you for very much for taking the time to watch the episodes afterwards and to kind of hang out, with us along with the campaign.
But I have seen up to 10 or 15 people in your game at one time.
Yeah, and I mean, we're not doing anything special. Like, a lot of people have these really fancy overlays and stuff, and I'd love to do that.
Fancy? You don't need fancy. Perkins proved that.
Yeah.
You don't need fancy. You just need a good storyteller. You're a good storyteller.
Thanks, man.
You're a good writer. You're very creative that way.
Yeah, although admittedly in the last 6 months there's been it's been short windows of time to really embellish the adventure and to I have the whole story laid out along different paths that the party could take, but my whole thing is I'm just a narrator. It's an open world. I plop the characters down in. Yes, there's certain story elements and paths that they could take, but I'm not the decision maker there. No. And nor will I actually try and sway players in one way or another to go that direction. Like, I won't intentionally make them follow the campaign direction that I've set out in the original narrative. They design the narrative. I'm just really reciting where they are and what they're
what they're doing.
Yeah,
let them. And I try to do the same thing. Now there is something to be said for moving the campaign along.
Well, especially when you're dealing with modules, like set modules, Temple of Elemental Evil. What is the one we were just playing before with the dragon?
You guys were kind of in. You go in and out of modules.
Yeah. Well, with the Orbs of Dragonkind, what did that start with?
That's actually homebrew.
Yeah, but where did it lead into that?
It led into the Tomb of Tamokan.
Okay.
It's led in and out of the Tales. Led in and out of the.
I'm trying to think of the name of the base campaign that's designed around, like the actual.
Horde of the Dragon Queen. There was some Horde of the Dragon Queen in there.
That's not the one I'm thinking of, though.
But it comes from...
What is the name of that module that everybody's been playing this last year? And the year before last, actually. Because it seems like last year never even happened.
Well, I think this is Tales of the Yawning Portal.
Nope.
That's where I got...
The one that we played when we were all here. And it wasn't any of those with the...
Rise of Tiamat?
Nope. I mean, that's part of it. But
that's part of the... But it started...
Oh, what? One module that we're not like... I know you have them here. I'm going to look.
Go look.
It's just driving me crazy right now.
Because actually, this was a homebrew that I started. Called The Long Road.
Yeah, no, I get that. But at the same time...
And I ran it.
You don't even have it here.
Horde of the Dragon Queen? I don't have.
No, it's not even Horde of the Dragon Queen. There's one module that, Dareth was playing in it. Yes, the Rise of Tiamat is the third installment in it. Or the second installment.
Well, what's the first one in that?
Oh, it's the Tyranny of Dragons.
No! Oh my god!
Because that's what Rise of Tiamat comes out of the Tyranny of Dragons.
There's one module that you're like completely like skipping, and I don't know why.
Not Avernus.
No, not even that. That's way ahead. You're talking levels 25 now. Like, let's scoot it back to like level 3 and shit.
You mean like the Waterdeep Tales? Like,
yeah, it's not Waterdeep Tales.
No, it's but that's not where this comes from.
What is the fucking name of that module? It's driving me crazy now.
Okay, it is. You guys know. You guys already know this.
Like the quest for the dragon orbs.
Doesn't come out of there.
I know it doesn't come out of any of these, but it comes out of a module. And
it doesn't.
I can see it in my head, man. We had like copies of stuff pertaining to Waterdeep and shit that was all there.
Yeah, from the Waterdeep Ichronon.
Oh man, it's gonna drive me crazy.
But the whole Our Little D&D game does not come out of that module. I know which module you're talking about, and I can't. It's right here on the end of my tongue.
I know, and it's driving me crazy. So D&D module, dragon orbs, because I mean that's the overall overarching orb of dragonkind, artifacts of ages, orb of dragonkind homebrew. Man, it is like
just modules, D&D modules.
Oh, I don't know why it went back to Alien movie release date. Good grief.
1979?
D&D module. Yeah, that's when Alien came out, 1979. D&D module 5e.
Yeah. Hit play.
I mean, it should come up by popularity alone, right? Tomb of Annihilation, for crying out loud!
So,
Tomb of Annihilation.
It doesn't come. The dragon orbs don't come from Tomb of Annihilation.
I don't care. That's the thing that we had started on, was Tomb of Annihilation, like 2 years ago.
With Dareth.
Yeah.
When we were playing side quests.
And everybody was playing Tomb of Annihilation in that year. I cannot believe how difficult it was for us to conceive of Tomb of Annihilation.
That's not the one I was thinking of, though.
That's so funny. I know that Rise of Tiamat and Descent into Avernus and whatnot, like those are all kind of linked, right? By the
no.
Or Rise of Tiamat is the last installment
so Rise of Tiamat, it comes from the Tyranny of Dragons series.
Dragon Heist.
Dragon Heist.
Yeah,
that one and okay. So Dragon Heist is what I was thinking of.
No, it doesn't come out. None of my adventure comes out of Dragon.
But we did play Dragon Heist.
We did with Dareth. Yes, with Inside Quest.
Right. So that's the one I was.
We were playing Tomb of Annihilation with him, but it was broken on Roll20.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So we started playing Dragon Heist, Waterdeep, and I wanted to finish it. So
man, I cannot believe it was that difficult to think, because honestly, Tomb of Annihilation is what I was thinking of. That's the picture I could see in my head.
Yes.
But it's Dragon Heist that I was actually thinking of, pertaining to the dragon orbs and shit like that.
No, the dragon orbs is something I actually thought of.
Oh. But isn't Dragon Heist, the idea behind Dragon Heist, to get an orb or something like that?
I don't know. I haven't played it.
Yeah,
I've only played the first portion of it. So the orbs of dragonkind, I was gonna, when this all started, when we started playing D&D again, 5e, not because when we first started playing with me and Johnny and Jake and Rob and Dareth, I'm gonna say 6 years ago now.
Right.
We started. We played a 1e first edition module.
Okay.
Which was absolutely blast. We had a good time. Oh, and Brendan's sister was playing with us as well. She's a great role player and she's a lot of fun. And so is his current girlfriend. She can role play too. Like, she's really good at playing.
Brendan?
His girlfriend.
Yeah, his girlfriend who has like never played D&D before, and
yeah,
she's like,
she just rocked it.
She's better than Brendan is. Sorry, Brendan, but sorry, not sorry.
Brendan's awesome, but he's a This guy is amazing min-maxer, though. He is an amazing min-maxer.
See, I've never really understood the whole min-max thing.
So what you do is you pick a race, a class, and you pick the race in the class that you can max out and minimize the downside, maximize the upside, right?
Okay.
Min-maxing.
Right.
So, like, a gnomish artificer, right? Or a half-elven assassin, or an elven assassin. Because you can get the stats really high for those, right? Because elves can see everything, they have dark vision. That's why drow elves make great assassins. That's why I don't like them in... I don't like drow elves. I don't like half-orcs. Or half-ogres.
Is there any race that you don't allow in your game?
As player characters, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, which ones?
Usually
like if you could pick your top one.
Half-orcs.
Really, half-orcs?
Yeah, I think all orcs should just be... Or goblins.
Well, I mean...
should just be murdered. Somebody should just put them down. They're just because orcs technically, goblins technically, when they're born, are born with a bent towards Grumsh one eye.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
They are born with that.
That's
evil
the original
bent.
D&D concept of
so
orcs. Yeah.
When I think of orcs and goblins and those demi-goblin half races, they are bent towards their evil god.
Right.
Small g.
But so you don't allow a player to actually play those races?
I don't want them playing those races in my game.
But don't want or don't allow?
I generally...
Because that's the thing.
You know what? I've never not allowed somebody to play a race.
Okay, so here's one for me. Tieflings. Don't fucking allow. And the
I
only...
don't love them. Don't like them.
I don't like them at all, and I won't allow them in my particular campaign only because...
they're another one I won't.
The one exception I will make to that rule, there is one caveat to it, is that if you can come up with a plausible story, a plausible backstory, and Tyler's really awesome for this, like Tyler from Camarine Adventures, he mentioned recently, and it got me thinking really good too, like if my players won't take the time to conceive of a plausible backstory for their character, then whatever happens, happens. Like, I have no qualms in, like, killing you off in the first session and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm not going to make any kind of, exceptions or lean on the rules for you if you've just basically smacked a character together and don't give a shit about, where they come from or how they arrived there or, what their backstory is. Then you're basically fodder for the kill. If you survive, you survive. Great. But if you don't, no sweat off the DM's balls.
Right? I agree with that. Like, I'm not a fan of tieflings either, because they, again, are bent towards Asmodeus.
Right, and usually when people play these dark characters, and I agree with you on some aspects of the orcs, like if the character was like at one time, sexually assaulted by an orc, and they brought up, as a half-orc, and that, then maybe there's some tendencies towards good or towards an understanding of a different side of the personality. But more or less, when people play these evil characters, they have a complete inability to play them evil.
That's right.
They play them nice. They play them chaotic good and stuff, and it just goes completely contrary to their inner nature.
I have a question. What do most people do with their alignments when they're actually playing their character?
Oh, they start out...
Do they ever follow the actual alignment?
No, they generally navigate towards chaotic neutral or chaotic good, or even neutral good.
They generally, it's your own personal alignment.
Yeah, your own personality starts seeping into the character. That's why for a lot of people, playing an evil campaign is really hard. It very rarely goes off the way that that I think the DM or the players expect to when they start that campaign. And I've watched a few shows. I've even participated in campaigns where there have been evil characters. And they always end up gravitating towards some kind of good inclination. Yeah.
Because people generally want to be thought of as
Thank you for saying it like that. Thank you. Like, people are
Generally-
not generally good. People who generally want to be
thought of as good.
Yeah.
Because people aren't generally.
No, I think people are inherently selfish and evil.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. And that's just, hey, that's our nature as human beings, folks.
We've been brought up that way for generations after generations after generations.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, we generally want to be thought of as good.
Mm-hmm.
So we generally do, like, I have no problems playing an absolutely chaotic evil character because I know who I am as a human being.
But, you know, mingling that character with a bunch of good characters,
you can't do it.
it's almost impossible. Because your character is going to do things like, hey, you know what, this guy's got something I want, and he just lit me off the night before. I'm going to stab him, and I'm going to take his shit, and I'm going to blame it on somebody else.
Now, if you want to play a lawful evil character or a neutral evil character, you can get away with mixing a neutral evil or a lawful evil character in with a group.
Right. Because
Simply
lawful is going to adhere to a certain
set of rules.
set of rules, right? And neutral evil, it kind of wavers in and out of the...
Yeah, and you'll see a neutral evil character, he'll go good or bad, and you'll not like that character. But a lawful evil character, you'll tend to like a lawful evil character more, because a lawful evil character will stick to the rules
Right.
while doing their own thing in the background, and not letting you see what they're doing. They'll stick to your rules, but they'll screw you in the end.
Oh, yeah.
Because and if you look at lots of like more darker monsters in your monster manual that have like demons and stuff like that, not all of them are chaotic evil.
No, there's lots of neutral evil there.
Lots of lawful evil,
especially when it comes to the demons and devils and stuff like that.
because what are they?
They adhere to a set of rules.
They're lawyers, every last one of them.
Right. Yeah.
They adhere to a set of rules, and they're just there to get what they want. They're selfish. They're selfish and self-centered,
Yeah.
and they serve their own purposes.
And I think for people, that's an easy trade to ply. Because,
Right.
you know, a lot of people work under that same
Set of rules.
Same kind of, yeah. So.
And I think people in general, lots of people on Earth today are generally lawful evil, because we adhere to a set of rules that only we care about, and we want to get what we want, right? Dungeon masters are kind of like that sometimes.
Yeah. Well, okay, and Tyler made Tyler from Camarino Adventures. I really wish that Camarino Adventures would stream. Tyler, if you're watching, like, at some point, man, we got to stream a game with you DMing. Ty's a brilliant DM, really great storyteller, really great puzzle developer, but he also plays the monsters like they're trying to win. And that's something that I've tried to inherit from his playstyle as well, because I really feel that's the way it should be.
Yes.
It is like, it is the DM's job to be a bit lawful evil. He's trying to play from the side of the monsters to win.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you're not trying to goad the party into winning so that they can reach the end. The goal of the DM is to prevent those characters from reaching the end.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's our little D&D game where we're at right now. Because the evil people who are trying to accomplish their goal have a goal.
Yeah.
Just like the good people who are trying to stop them have a goal.
Yeah.
And you have to have this. You have to have this.
Like conflict.
You have to have the conflict in a game between two, and unfortunately it always comes back down to two warring sides.
Yeah.
Two factions that are doing something. You might have 3 or 4 factions doing something, but all those factions are working towards, there's always a line between two sides.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, like, if you watch any of the last 29 episodes of Chronicles of Cryalis, you'll be like, okay, the DM seems to, that's me, seems to have a bit of favoritism for these players to have survived the way that they have survived. But I cannot stress enough the amount of horseshoes up these players' asses. Like, I'm talking...
They have some horseshoes.
I'm talking Costco-level, bulk-size horseshoes up their asses.
Yeah, yeah.
When I roll a 1 for a creature, or a player, or whatever, or I roll a 20, or whatever the case may be, I am not fudging those rolls for the sake of the game. I've just been, it's like I've had some really powerful characters that were going to just lay waste to at least one or two of the party members. I was sure of it, very confident that the cunning and tactics of the monsters or the NPCs that I was putting them up against, or the situation that I was putting those players in, was going to at least defeat one or three or all of them.
Yes.
And by the dice roll, it has screwed me time and time again to the point where they have survived, and they have planned, they have made tactics that really overcame a lot of the options that I had set down for those NPCs. So, and even when you let the players have 2 weeks in between sessions, and a lot of time on Discord. If you're not in Take 20 Discord, by the way, you should definitely follow down that road. Lots of good conversation.
Yeah, go down there. Hey, there's no political stuff on Take 20's Discord anymore.
No.
I'm sad.
No, I completely eliminated that channel.
I'm sad. I wanted that one back.
Yeah, the next one to be eliminated is TTRPGs, just because of the fact that the general channel, Take 20 is about TTRPGs, so the general channel is where that shit should get posted down so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
So we're kind of trimming and narrowing our focus down a bit to try and keep Take 20 on a solid TTRPG focus. With the occasional game and rhetoric like we've been having here, on Saturday. But, I mean, where was I going with this? The idea that you play a campaign to let your characters win all the time is shit. I mean, if there is no risk, then really is there any reward? Yeah.
And you know what? Some of my players that don't play with us anymore never liked that. They didn't like the risk reward stuff where maybe they got something taken away from them because there's consequences.
Oh yeah. Okay, so a good example for that, exactly what you're saying, is asymmetry. So we have a player come on, some of you may know Britt and I are dating. She wanted to play an Aasimar. An Aasimar is basically a kind of a celestial being. It's an elevated level of human with a diva patron. They've got glowing wings, they can fly, they've got these really cool abilities and stuff. But for that player to be inserted directly into the campaign didn't make a lot of sense. I couldn't just oh, here you go, here's an angel, she's just going to drop by, meet you at a tavern, the classic RPG scenario.
Right.
Where, there's an Aasimar, just have a beer at the bar, let's hook up with them. They, of course, want to adventure with us. So I didn't go down that road. As a matter of fact, that Aasimar started kidnapped, without armor, without weapons, in a very shitty position, and there was all kinds of opportunities for her character to perish very early on in that game for lack of those abilities. She had memory loss, couldn't remember her abilities, couldn't remember that she was even an Aasimar until probably episode 3 or 4 of her being in there. And I think you're going to have to go back to episode 18 or 19 to try and catch up on how that all unfolded. But you can't come to the table with a character that's well thought out and you put together your stats, a great backstory, and expect that character is going to live past the first session. Don't do that, because if you do that, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. Dungeons and Dragons is a game about risk and reward, and the likelihood that you're going to die is high.
Yes. Brendan is proof of that, guys.
Yes, and it's not just because he's Brendan.
It's because
he just makes some seriously shitty decisions. Yeah.
He makes bad decisions. He really does.
And it's a DM's job that when players make shitty decisions, roll those dice and punish accordingly.
Yeah, roll the dice, move your mice, and if your character doesn't survive, well, your character doesn't survive.
It's 10.
It is.
I gotta run.
Guys, this has been a slam, but we've chatted enough. We've chatted your whole ear off.
Yeah, and I know we kind of tailed it off to D&D stuff, but next weekend, who knows? Maybe more politics, maybe more D&D, probably a lot more video games.
We just do this. This is what we do.
So tune in to Take 20 D&D for Chronicles of Cryellis this coming Friday.
Yeah.
Don't forget to tune in to SACT. If you haven't already followed the Kickstarter project, just tune into Kickstarter. Look up SAKD or SAK''D for SACT. Try and find and follow the project, and we'll announce on March 2nd when the Kickstarter campaign goes live. So I hope to see some of you out there for some support there.
Absolutely, guys. You're not going to want to miss it because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It is. I've seen like the pre stuff that you've put out. And if you haven't, you can go where to see all the.
Yeah, you can follow along. There is a Discord channel for SACT, a public Discord channel. So we are posting some early release artwork and stuff like that there. Some
And
clips.
gameplay,
Gameplay stuff.
mechanical stuff. That is really cool.
So yeah, tune into that. Follow along on Discord on Take 20 D&D if you get a chance. We'll be kind of side posting some of that there, trying to get some of you over to Discord on the SAC channel as well.
Yeah, we want you all on that on that channel.
Yeah, the next 3 weeks we're really trying to gear things up. So we could use all the retweets, likes, shares, support that you can send our way to help our little indie game development team make a dream happen. And to everybody who has supported the project so far, and there has been a lot of you, thank you so much. Like, bottom of my heart, thank you so much.
And to one big thank you for a very special friend of ours who has supported us.
Draconis Firebrand.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Thank you.
We love you,
so
buddy.
much, man.
We appreciate everything you do.
Big time, big time.
So.
Well, thanks, folks. Thanks for coming out.
Hey, for Kelly. I'm Jason.
And for Jason, I'm Kelly.
We are a part of Take 20 D&D, guys, and we just want to thank you guys for coming out.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll talk to you again real soon.
Bye for now.